Good morning, everyone. Welcome into our Saturday morning coaches show. I'm Don Julian, and we've got Clark Cipoletta with us today. A little bit later on, Alexi Upton will be coming along to talk about Wildcat soccer. He's expected to arrive any time now, so we look for him very, very shortly. Before we get into that, again, a lot of things to talk about. We'll try to sail through this as quickly as we can. Lady Cat soccer lost against Lindale last night at Tyler Junior College, 1-0. They're 0-2 in district play, and this week they host a couple of matches at Gerald Prim Stadium. Tuesday, Mount Pleasant will be in, and Friday, Texas High will be in. Powerlifting is in Commerce today for the boys. The girls' powerlifters are two of those. They lifted on Friday at Commerce. Lady Cats Golf will be playing Monday and Tuesday at the Rockwall Golf and Athletic Club. That'll be a regional preview. That's where the region golf tournament will be taking place, and a lot of the golfers that are expected to be at regional are expected at this tournament as well. So the Lady Cats golfers, I believe there are two of them right now, maybe three will go, but that's the situation for them. Wildcats tennis will be playing at John Tyler on Friday in a tournament. Wildcats baseball, they scrimmaged North Lamar last night. That was their last scrimmage. They'll be starting the season Thursday through Saturday at the Rose City Classic, which is sponsored by Tyler Lee, and Wildcats will play, it seemed like 5 games or so in that tournament over 3 days. Lady Cat softball, of course, they've got their own tournament going on, and they are 4-0 so far in their tournament, and that's also for the season. And they will be playing Duncanville. That'll be this morning at 11:30 a.m. if the weather cooperates out there. We're expected to do that game. There will not be a live stream of that game. We do not have what we need at Lady Cat Park in order to do that. So no live stream today. I would look for that perhaps on YouTube later after the game is over and it gets all edited and everything. The Lady Cats will host Mineola on Tuesday and then play in the Allen tournament Thursday through Saturday. And the only other thing is track. They'll have their first meet coming up on Thursday at Mount Pleasant, and the field events and some of the jumping stuff will start at 4 p.m. And I'm sure the running finals will be around 6 or something like that. But that's everybody else. So now we can talk with Clark Cipoletta about basketball. And Coach, everything firm for the by-district playoff game with John Tyler. Just give us the details.
Yes, we'll be in Wills Point Tuesday at 7 p.m. and we'll be the home team, and we'll be playing John Tyler. So we set that last night. It'll just be a single game, no doubleheader. So we're looking forward to it. I think it's close enough. Give our fans a chance to get there, and just looking forward to the opportunity.
Yeah, that was the question, whether or not another team, a game would show up in there and it would adjust our start time. But it will be at 7 o'clock, and will be the only game in town. So that will be nice. And you've obviously been in that gym before. I know we've played Wills Point on the road before, and perhaps you've been in there more than that.
Yeah, it's I haven't been there in probably 5-6 years. It's been a little while. I think when I was the assistant coach was the last time we played a game there. They came to our place the year after that. But it's a really nice gym. It seats a lot of people. It's bigger than ours. So, I'm just hoping the community and all of our fans and families will, come out and give us that extra support.
All right, I will explain right now. I hope Jimmy will put out something more on it later, but there will be no live stream of this. We've got a situation with the UIL where they're charging us a fee that we don't wish to pay. So there may be some good news later on if the Wildcats keep winning. No pressure, Coach, but it could be that the coverage could pick up. But again, it would have to have approval of both teams. But it just will not happen for this game. And so we're very unfortunate, but it's bigger than me or than so that's just the way it is. So just wanted everybody to know that. But we will do the game. We'll do it on radio. We will have an audio stream that you can pick up. We're kind of going back into the future now, actually back into the past, And we'll also videotape the game replay on Channel 18, just like we always do. Just we'll not have that live stream component or the YouTube posting that you can get at, but again, it'll be on 18 if you can catch it and record it and do all that stuff just like you used to. So that's the by-district basketball coming up. And Coach, what a lot of time in the gym, just working on everything, I guess, right?
Yeah, I like this time. It gives us some time to really focus on John Tyler and just really focus in on what they do well and how we're going to guard them and how can we score on them. And so we're really taking time to break down. We'll have practice again today where we'll watch video, and then once again we'll watch video again on Monday as a group. And it's just kind of a unique time because that first round game, there's so much time in between. So you get to really prep really well, and we're just going to take full advantage of that opportunity in moving forward. So just trying to get our guys ready.
Now, John Tyler, one of your bigger Class 5A schools, a lot of times they get bumped up to 6A, kind of like Longview. They come down, they go up, and so they have a lot of kids to choose from. And it's kind of like Texas High. If they're down, they don't stay down for long. They're usually very athletic. And so what's the scouting report on this group?
You pretty much know them really well. They're very athletic. They're not your typical 4 seed. They've played the top teams in the district to 2 3-point games, and they're just kind of a team that plays really high at times, and sometimes they play really low. We just got to do a good job of taking away what they try to do best, and just handling their athleticism is going to be really key for us. They have a guard who's as good as any guard we've played this year, just really capable of scoring the ball. He's had multiple 30-point games this year, so we just got to do a good job of slowing him down. And then I really like their big kid inside. He's a 6'6" kid, just really stocky, super athletic, and just really efficient when he has the basketball. So it's going to be a tough task to take both of them away, but I think we got a good game plan we're comfortable with, and moving forward, I hope we can do it.
They look like a pressing team, the up-tempo kind of stuff?
So it's kind of deceptive. They play a 2-3 zone, but they'll extend it and trap up with those 2 front guards at times, and they'll really get in passing lanes. And I'm impressed with how active they play on defense. They play with hands, and they fly around, which causes a lot of steals, and they create a lot of chaos by doing that. They'll try to push the tempo a little bit offensively. It's nothing more than we've seen this year at this point. And then, in late game situations, they'll even extend out and press. So, they'll throw a couple of different things at you, so we just got to be ready for whatever they do.
None of those lazy passes, none of those high looping passes cross court are probably not going to make it against these guys.
No, and you got to do a good job of faking passes. If you can fake a pass one way, a lot of times they're really aggressive, so they're going to try to jump to steal that pass, and then it might open up a window to a bigger passing lane. So we just got to be really disciplined in those, like you said, just straight line passes, whipping the ball around their zone, faking up, pass down, just little fundamental things I think will really help us. We feel like we have some areas that we can attack in their zone. So we just got to do a good job of getting the ball to those spots and make the best result come.
All right, let's take our first internal break, and we'll be back with more with Clark Cipoletta right after this. And back here on the Saturday Morning Coaches Show, we're talking with Clark Cipoletta, and Clark mentioned earlier, and of course most of this was really what we were waiting to see was the starting time, because see if another game was going to end up in the gym. It will not be. So Tuesday night, 7 o'clock, Wills Point and John Tyler will be the opposition. I guess we could go to John Tyler and play Wills Point. How about that? I'm not going to let you do that.
Much, yeah.
Wills Point might object to playing a 5A team in the playoffs. So anyway, in case I got anybody confused, it will be at Wills Point. We're playing John Tyler Tuesday night at 7. And we are the home team, Clark told us. So that's always good to know when you get there and you see guest and home, you know which side to go in on. And Coach, what's Keyston Willis? Got any good news on him?
So he actually got a second opinion at the doctor on Thursday, and unfortunately his foot isn't healing the route that they wanted it to, but they told him that he could play on it. So they said it's not going to get any worse, and he's probably going to have surgery potentially after the season anyway. So he came out to practice yesterday and actually looked really good.
Good.
He went through a full practice with us, and we just kind of taped it up and we put a pad on it to just kind of help support that foot. So moving forward, he's going to be part of the team, and we'll just kind of see where that takes us.
So he will have surgery later, and they don't think anything he does now is going to particularly cause him any more harm. So it's really, how much pain can he tolerate, and, if there is any. And if it's all taped up, hopefully we hope for the best, and hope that he's just able to fly around out there. And I know you're glad to have him back.
Yeah, it's just an added boost for us. Just having his presence and just the capabilities that he can do on the court just really helps out a team. And he's been part of us for 4 years, and just the opportunity to finish strong his senior year really makes me excited for him, because he's one of the most deserving kids I have to have this opportunity to make this run in the playoffs, and I'm just grateful he can be a larger part of it.
Yeah, as I went back and looked, as I was kind of recapping when we went 10-0, you find out pretty quickly he missed 7 district games out of 10, and we win 10-0.
Yeah, it's that's a testament to our younger kids and our other kids on the court, like Xavier Cork and Cameron Kahn. And some of those guys really stepped up big, and even guys like Boo Wilkerson stepping up to hit big threes and big moments, and Grayson McClure carrying part of that scoring load. Just kind of tells you the potential that we have on our team, and that's kind of the culture that we've really tried to create, is that next man up mentality, and we've been doing good with it so far, but adding Keeston back will definitely help.
Yeah, and when you look at, Day Hall lost 4 games with concussion, and actually there were 2 games we played. We didn't have Willis or Day. So, when you go 10-0 with that, with all that weight on you, it's kind of like, they take the good horses at the Kentucky Derby and put an extra, weight on them to make them run with extra weight. That's basically what the Wildcats have had to do, is those guys off the bench have, had to pick up the slack, and you've had that extra weight of not having those good players.
Yeah, it's been a really wild ride. Everybody asked me, hey, your season's been really well. I said, but it's been a wild ride with these guys, and just trying to find ways to win. And I've just been really fortunate that we've come up on top a lot of times, and I'm just trying to find different ways. When Day and Keeston were out, we had to kind of have a more unique attack and be better sound on the defensive end. And like you said, and just guys who really stepped up in those times, and I couldn't be more proud of this team. 10-0 is hard to do no matter what district you're in, and it's something we're really proud of, but we want to continue on.
Yeah, and I don't know how many more of those 1 or 2 point wins either you could stand, or those fans that leave the gym exhausted, and it's been a wild ride, but it's nice when you come out on the long end of that score.
It is, and just we're really grateful and really blessed. And I told the guys, you're part of a special legacy here at Sulphur Springs. Doing stuff a lot of teams that have never had the opportunity to do, but it's all for nothing if we don't go make a run now, and it all starts back over. And we have a bullseye as big as anyone on our back, and we just got to continue to play with that chip on our shoulder, continue to play the type of defense that we've played all year, and just really share the basketball, and I think we have a chance.
Now, this is your 3rd straight year in the playoffs after what was a pretty good drought. I think we went back to 2009 or something, the last playoff appearance. And no, I take that back. Jeremy Josie went, was it his last year, I guess, before. And then, and so you've had 3 in a row. So a lot of these guys have been around the playoffs. Do you sense a different attitude around practice since, after your last district game?
I do. 3 years ago, when that first playoff team I had made it into the playoffs, it was almost a grind every practice, because the kids I had on the team didn't really know how to handle those extra practices. And we did a lot of film studies, and you could just tell the team wasn't ready at that moment to really handle what we were giving them, and just the ability to use that. And now they've been doing it for multiple years, so it's just second nature to them. And you could just tell the focus on the little details is really important. And we've kind of had a unique situation the last couple of years, because 3 years ago we lose in overtime, double overtime against Creekview. So the value of one play is so important. And even last year we lost in triple overtime, and it could come down to one play. So we're just really stressing the fact that just every play in the game matters. And one free throw, one loose ball, one tip in, one no block out or miss block out could really change the outcome of the game, and it has the last couple of years. So we just got to be really sound on every play, and if we do that, like I said, I think we got a chance.
It was second round, your first year, third round. I kept telling you, you're just going to increase one round a year, and you said that's not good enough. That's too slow. I want it to happen faster than that. So you're hoping for a nice long run, but again, you take them one at a time and see who you're lined up against, and we've got a tough region, but I was kind of surprised. I did not realize some of the teams were in Region 1. I think Lancaster is in Region 1.
No, they're in our region.
Oh, they're in our region. I may have misread something I saw in the Dallas Morning News.
So last year we had, I want to say, like 7 of the top 10 teams were in our region, and Timberview, Waxahachie, you had Justin Northwest, you had Little Elm, you had the Colony. All 5 of those teams have moved on to Region 1.
Yeah.
Still in our region, you still have Lancaster, which they're the number 1 team. In 5A, Red Oak, I think it's like a number 6 team. You have the Lone Star out of Frisco. You got Frisco Liberty, who's another ranked team. You have Dallas, South Oak Cliff, Kimball. All those teams are in our region. Midlothian. So it's not going to be an easy route, but you got to beat the best to get there. So you're going to see them one way or another, and we're just looking forward to that opportunity.
Yeah, I think Timberview, they are in Region 1, right?
Yes, sir.
So that surprised me. I thought Lancaster and Timberview, 2 teams ranked above our number 4, were in our same region, but I did not realize Timberview was in Region 1. So,
Yes,
but we still have Lancaster, and they've been in the number 1 spot for a long time. And there's a San Antonio school, but you would hope to play them at some point, because that would mean you were in the state tournament, because
that
that's the only
great.
way you'd play them. I think they're down in Region 3 or 4, one of those. So.
Yeah, just us and Lancaster are the only top 4 teams in our region. So hopefully we get to play those other teams, like you said.
But a lot of others lurking down below.
For sure.
A lot of those that you named. So, but anyway, you take them one at a time, and right now it's John Tyler that we're looking at, and so looking forward to Tuesday night, Coach. Really am, and I know you are too. You get out there. It's special to coach in the playoffs too, isn't it?
It is. That's what you work for all season long. And in the summertime, when you're putting in a lot of hours, when the kids are running bleachers in the fall, and they're hating my guts most days, I remind them that it's worth it, because at this point, what you have invested is just what you can get out. You can't pull out any more or any less than what you put in. And hopefully we've put in and invested more than any other team, because I feel like our group is a really special group, and they outwork just people daily, and we take pride in trying to be the best in Texas every single day. So hopefully, that comes forward, and we're able to execute and make this a long run.
Well, if that tough schedule that you put together is putting it in the bank, we've already taken some deposits in district play that I think that tough schedule help us win some games, and now playoff time, and that's really what this tough schedule was all about, was getting ready to face the kind of competition you're going to see in the playoffs.
Yeah, we didn't want the first time we saw a really athletic team or a team that did something particularly really well to be in the playoffs. And 2 years ago, I made that mistake. So we really weren't ready for a Creekview, because we didn't see that type of athleticism just on a daily basis. We might have seen it once or twice. So we really tried to ramp up that schedule to make it where just on any given night in the playoffs, we've seen a team like that, and we know what works well against it, and know what we struggle with against teams like that, and hopefully fix those mistakes. And just moving forward, I hope that pays off.
Yeah, probably at least 10 teams ranked in Class 6A in the top 25 that we've faced this year. I used to have a list of that, and it comes and goes. Some teams come in, they drop out, and all that kind of stuff. But But at one time or the other, they were right there. Let's go ahead and wrap it up. Coach, thank you very much for your time on Saturday morning. And we will take our second break here, and we'll have Alexi Upton on to talk about Wildcat soccer right after this break. And we're back on Saturday Morning Coaches Show. Don Julian here along with Alexi Upton, Wildcat soccer coach, and we're glad to have you here, Coach. I appreciate you coming in. And Lindale comes in and kind of surprised last night, 4-0. What's your take on that ball game?
Yeah, I mean they played really well. They outworked us. They were a very hardworking team, and they came into the game, and they were obviously ready to play from the minute. My guys talked a lot about how physical they played and how strong they played, and my challenge to them at halftime was they're down a goal, and hey, you've got to go match their energy. You've got to go match the way that they play aggressive on you. You have to go challenge them, and we really struggled. And we're young, and we're still just trying to find our place. We're still very young. We only have 4 seniors. We'll still have the exact same group next year, and we just lack some situational awareness, some in-game awareness. When it gets difficult, we're still young, and we don't really know how to flip the switch. We don't know how to kind of think for ourselves, and I think that's what we're trying to learn that, and it's taking some time. But
yeah, some big, large defensive players, and the guy that scored the first 2 goals, he was a load down there and looked like a really good soccer player.
Yeah, he's number 10. His name's Samuel Cox for Lindale. He's a great player. I actually went after the game and went into their locker room and just thanked them for coming out and how they played really well. Their coach texted me back, and he was like, "Hey, man, that was really nice of you." But, I mean, I just did it because I thought they were an incredible team. I thought they played really well, and there's no reason why they can't compete with, Mount Pleasant's and Greenville's and things like that. I fully expect them to go give those 2 guys a great game. And we're still trying to figure ourselves out. And, hopefully we play Mount Pleasant on Tuesday, and hopefully we can just start building back in the right direction.
Yeah, it was real hard, and sometimes it just happens that way, but it was real hard to possess the ball, to kind of, to keep the ball moving down the field with a series of passes,
Yeah.
and even and create shots on goal. It was just really, really hard all night long. That defense back there, they just seem impenetrable.
Yeah.
the way they played it.
Yeah, they were a very solid team. They played very strong. They were great at breaking everything up, and we just struggled to create things, and we just struggled to keep possession of the ball, and there wasn't much we could do about it, and we tried to change some things. We tried to mix some things up and play some different personnel, but we just struggled.
Yeah, 0-2, and now coming up, you have to be road warriors now, and I thought, wow, what a time to be having to go to Mount Pleasant,
Yeah.
and face them on their home field. But sometimes it helps to play a good team like that, and so maybe they'll turn it up a notch. You're going to have to,
Yeah.
because Mount Pleasant, they're always tough at home.
Yeah, maybe it lights a fire. That's really what I'm hoping. I'm hoping it lights a fire. I'm hoping it, some kids, it sets something off in some kids and says, hey, we're not going to keep getting beat. We're going to start setting the tone, and that's really what I'm hoping for. And with Mount Pleasant, you have to. They're 2-0 right now. They beat Greenville 2-1 last night.
Oh my goodness! Okay.
And Greenville's an incredible team that dominated us, and they beat them. So they're a great team, and you've got to go play. You've got to go outwork them and outmatch them, and that's the only way you have any chance of winning. They're a great team. They're ranked number 3 in the region. But I tell people all the time, like I said, we're young and we're still trying to learn. We're making mistakes constantly, but we're trying to learn and we're trying to get better from them. We've played great teams and we've kept up with great teams. We tied number 2 Lovejoy in the region. We've played a lot of high-level teams. We were winning against Jacksonville and ended up losing that game, but Jacksonville is 6-0 in their district that we match up in the first round of playoffs. We can play with anybody, and we're still young and we're still just making a lot of mistakes. But that's what young teams do. They make mistakes, and you have to learn from that and get better. So.
Yeah, you just you want the guys to just kind of keep their heads up and keep working hard and hope eventually it pays off for them.
Yeah, good things will come our way. We have Mount Pleasant, and then we play 2 of kind of the lessers of the district. We play T High and we play Roy City. So getting a solid result versus Mount Pleasant and kind of building on that as you go into those last 2 games of district, I think that will help us out a lot. So.
I know coaches like to keep it one game at a time, but I can't help but look ahead to Friday. You'll be going to Texas High, and we'll see an old friendly face across the field
Yeah.
in a different role.
Yeah.
Jesus De Leon, who we've only seen coach ladies, and now he's moved over on the guys' side at Texas High, and I know he's done that before because he's been everywhere and coached for a long time, and but that'll be interesting. Jesus.
Yeah, he's
You familiar with him?
You know, about to go work there at last second. I chose to come to Sulphur instead of T-High, but he's doing a great job over there. You know, he had a program that had a terrible goal differential, and all last year all they did was just get beat up and bullied by everybody in the district, and he's done an incredible job. The first round of games on Tuesday, they only lost 3-0 to Mount Pleasant, kept the best team in the district down to 3 goals, and I mean, that's pretty impressive. I don't know what they did versus Royce City on yesterday. I didn't ask yet, but I mean, they're playing well. They're playing better than they have in the past. And I told my kids, I go, that's a game now. I go, you don't get to walk into that stadium anymore and just beat them like they're your little brother. I go, they can play now. They're legit. They're organized, and that's a credit to Jesus and having them organized. T-High is known for athletes, basketball, football,
Absolutely.
Tons of athletes. So the fact that he's taken those athletes now and given them shape and structure, I mean, they're bound to be good. So.
Yeah, for such a big school, and you just don't expect them to be kind of mediocre in anything.
Yeah.
But really, as long as I've been here, they've been kind of a sleeping giant over there that just never kind of puts it together. And we pretty well, had our way with them. They, I'm sure it seemed like they snuck up on Andy a time or two, but it hadn't happened very often. And so Texas High again, just kind of a sleeping giant, and Jesus maybe just what they need over there at Texas High. We'll have to see what kind of job he does. Coach, hang around, and we'll be back to talk more Wildcat soccer with Alexi Upton. Let's take our third and last internal break, and we'll be back in a moment. And we're back here on the Saturday Morning Coaches Show talking about Wildcat soccer with Alexi Upton. Coach, in your first year as a head coach, and what are you learning on a daily basis? Everything?
Yeah, a little bit of everything. I'm learning more and more that everybody's good. Everybody can play. I hate when people say that oh, they're not a soccer school, or oh,
they're only 4A.
Yeah, or they're only 4A, or oh, they're not that big, or they're a small school. None of that matters. None of that matters. Everybody can play. Everybody's got talented kids. Everybody knows soccer by now. It's not it's not the 80s and 90s where it just started. It's 2019, and everybody can play soccer. A lot of kids play club. A lot of kids are very talented, and we're learning that. I mean, we played Pittsburgh. It's a very small town, very good team. We only beat them 1-0. Pleasant Grove's a 4A, and Texarkana, they were a great game. We played Kilgore at the start of the year. They're number 1 in 4A, and they're really great. I mean, everybody can play. So, I think that's the main thing I've learned. And then also learned that, you can't rely on just the talent. You have to go out there and you have to outwork people. And I preach that 24/7. Hey guys, we've got to go out there and we've got to outwork people. We're never going to win anything if we can't go out there and we can't compete and outwork. But, like I said, we're young and we're still growing and still trying to learn day by day. So.
I'm sure you're trying to build a program. You work in middle school, I guess, to try to develop the soccer program in the middle school. Or
yes, sir. I'll tell you what. We were talking about the break. How you were saying we're a small group. My 8th graders, bless their souls, there were some small kids, man. Once again, very, very talented kids.
Yeah.
I'm really there's about 5 to 10 of them that are really great soccer players. But we're gonna have to get some protein shakes out or something. I don't know. We're a small group, and maybe that's just development and it takes time. But a really good group of young players that will eventually come up. And in April we go over there and we go see them and talk to them, and we're trying to take them to 2 tournaments as well. So it'll be a good time for them as well.
All right. You looking forward to your first encounter with Mount Pleasant over there in the hotbed of soccer, and has been, for years, and we've had a terrible time trying to win against that team.
I played them in 2013. I played them in the Frisco tournament final, back when it had a final. It doesn't anymore, but it used to have a final, and we played them in the final, and they played 3-5-2, and they played defensive, and they possessed the ball. They've done the same thing for 20 years. It was older Coach Mayfield, his dad that coached them, and now
Yeah.
it's younger Jason Mayfield.
Who's been there forever.
Yeah,
somewhat.
who's been there for another 15 years. So I mean, they've played 3-5-2, and they'll play 3-5-2 until the school burns down. I mean, that's just the way they are, and that's the way they always will be. And so, we know what to expect. We know they're going to keep possession of the ball, and we know they're going to be a very talented team. And we just have to go there and outwork people. I mean, really, that's all it boils down to. We have to go work harder than people. So hopefully we can start bouncing back and getting back on the right track.
Yeah, you still playoff spots to be won, and
Absolutely.
the first two games don't determine. I mean, they help determine stuff, but there's still a lot of soccer to be played. You got a lot of district games.
There's
still there.
There's still tons of soccer to be played. We take care of Roy City and T-High. Fourth place is ours to take, and also we replay Greenville, we replay Mount Pleasant in the second round, and we replay Lindo in the second round of district. So everything can happen in those second rounds of games. So yes, it's a bad start and it's not what we wanted, but at the same time, there's still so much in front of us that we can't be pessimistic or negative. We've just got to keep rolling.
And a very physical game last night. Teams really got after each other. I hope we came out pretty healthy after it last night.
No, we don't have any injuries or anything. I'll tell you what, when you left, the JV game was also incredibly aggressive.
Wow.
So I mean, it's just a testament to Lindale. I mean, they're very aggressive. They want to win, and their mentality is kind of whatever it takes to win. I mean, they're going to be aggressive and they're going to go get after it. And even in the JV game, it was 0-0 at halftime, but it was very aggressive. There was a lot of fouls. There was a lot of contact. I mean, that's just. That's eventually where I want to get our guys at. Not playing dirty, not playing violent, but playing aggressive. I mean, you have to go win games. So.
Enjoyed watching your JV group, get there early and watch them play, and then watch the varsity play as well. And you've got some good guys on that JV that look like their future help for you.
Yeah, our future looks bright for the next 3-4 years. I said that to somebody a couple days ago. I told them, we only have 4 seniors. I go, and even after the 14 or 15 juniors that graduate, we've still got 30, 40 kids in the program. I go, so, I mean, yes, every class leaves, and yes, you're sad that, you don't get to see those guys anymore. But at the same time, we're so young, and there's so much quantity of young kids per grade that, we're going to be good for a very long time. So.
That's not unusual to see graduating classes of 10 or 11 and that kind of thing. 4, I mean, you're gonna miss them, sure.
Yes.
The seniors are good guys, but at the same time, you have the bulk of your team coming back, and you got some great young goal scorers that and you say the whole team's young, and so you've got a good future.
Yeah, and next year's going to be an incredible year for us because a lot of juniors turn into seniors, and then a lot of sophomores turn into upperclassmen, and hopefully that they grow and they mature a little bit more, and hopefully they start to figure it out. They use this year as a year to see what varsity's like, what that level of play is like, what the speed of play is like, and they kind of grow and they get better, and then they say, hey, this year we're ready to go. We're ready to start setting the tone, setting the standard, and hopefully they can start building.
Have you talked to Colby Peak and gotten his advice?
I haven't yet. I was actually going to today, but
okay.
I know he's been doing pretty well. I know Coach Holt's been fighting it out in the District of Death.
Did he pick up a loss the other day?
He's picked up 2.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Well, he lost like 4 district games. He barely made the playoffs, and then they win the state.
He got 4th last year with 4 losses in the Frisco district and ended up winning the state. That's how great that district is.
He got the players' attention at the right time.
Yeah.
When they got into the playoffs, said, "Okay, guys."
5 Frisco schools are in the top 9 of our region. That means that somebody in the top 9 in our region won't make playoffs.
Wow.
So, so that's an incredible district. Every coach calls it the District of Death. That's what we call it. So, it's crazy. But yes, sir.
All right. Well, tell Coach Peak if you talk to him, a hello from me, and
Yes, sir.
we always admire the job. And I guess he's still at McKinney Boyd, right?
Yes, sir. Yep, he's still rolling. They're doing pretty well. They're second or third. They're sitting in good. So.
They had incredible defense last year.
Yeah,
they scored just enough to kind of keep moving along, but then eventually, they made the state tournament. I think, did they not?
And they had 14 seniors. So, and a lot of them went D1, a lot of them went D2, and you kind of lost them all. So.
That's hard reloading from that. But if anybody can, your former coach will do just fine, won't he?
Absolutely, yeah.
Lexi, thank you very much. We
Yes, sir.
appreciate, as always, having you on, and I like to see the way the Wildcats have developed this year, and I know you'll continue to work with those guys and get them going.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
All right, that's going to wrap up our Saturday morning coaches show. We appreciate you tuning in, and I'm Don Julian, and so long, everybody.